What's up everybody, my name is Elliott and welcome back to the fastest growing Midwestern based automotive channel on YouTube, hosted by a notary public. Now behind me is my 2016 Dodge Challenger Hellcat, or should I say it used to be my 2016 Dodge Challenger Hellcat. I just sold this car on Cars and Bids last week to less than stellar results. I've got a whole video explaining my process and my thoughts on the whole matter coming up soon, so be on the lookout for that. But today, we're going to be putting a window regulator and a couple of other parts on the BMW, which is back there out of frame. So that means I need to move my X car out of the way, get the BMW here, so that way it can be Regulationville, population BMW. Let's move some cars. Okay, Hellcat out, BMW in. And as you remember from the last episode, I've already ripped the door panel apart and determined that the window regulator is the problem on this car. And inside this box, I've got a new window regulator from our friends at Mineral Auto, or Rock Auto if you want to be pedestrian. So all that's left to do now is do one of those cool YouTube box opening things, and then we can put it in the car. Let's give it a try. Ah, look at that, a new regulator, complete in the bag and everything. Now, it's got its oil and everything on it, so I'm gonna leave it in the bag until we're ready to put it on. But let's go see if we can regulate this onto the driver's side door. Let's go. One thing that's always important to do with your Rock Auto orders is to take the magnet that they give you and put it somewhere special. A lot of people put it on toolboxes and whatnot, but they don't have cars with missing clear coat. So I'm going to take this really cool looking Mitsubishi Starion and help patch my, my hoodwork up. I think that that's gonna cover it up nicely. Good job. Okay. So let's get to it. First thing of note is I've never done this before, but I consider myself a pretty regulated guy. I mean, heck, I'm a notary. Regulation is part of my game. Everybody in the BMW forums makes it sound like this is not only the most common thing to do on these cars, but also the easiest. So pretty sure I can hash it out. First thing we got to do is get the rest of the things back off that I put back on just so I wouldn't lose them, which means the speaker, and I think that's about it. And then we can take the window out and see where to go from there. All right, speaker's out. Here's our problem piece. This should be attached. The next step is to remove the window itself. Hopefully I can do that without completely breaking it. Hey, mission success. After that, I think there's 1, 2, 3 bolts to remove, and we can get this mess of an old regulator out of there. Bolts falling is the sound of success. Now, the old broken snaky boy is out. All I have to do is take this motor, swap it over to the new one, put it all in, and next thing you know, we're gonna have a functioning BMW. As if that's the only thing that's wrong with this car, but it's gonna be a big one. Okay, I got my motor all swapped over. Now I just gotta figure out how to get this thing back in there because I don't exactly remember how it came out, but I'll figure that out. Another thing I really wish I could do right now is I wish I could play the song Regulate, because it would just be really appropriate for what I'm doing right now, but YouTube copyright laws and whatnot. So enjoy this copyright-free hip-hop song while I try to struggle to put this back in. Okay, well that turned out to be a lot easier than I thought it would be, and I think we're ready to put the window in. But first, while we're in here and while this is still open, I need to put a little something in here for future BMW historians so they know the true pedigree of this car. There we go. It's official now. This is now an M driver's window. So I'm expecting the performance to be pretty great. Let's put the window in. Shout out to my dad, the original regulator, for helping me out with that window install. It's always good to have an extra pair of hands when you gotta fight a big piece of glass and all that stuff, but check it out, guys. Look at that. I have a window, and it seems to be regulating itself just fine. Now, I just have to figure out if I can remember how to put the rest of this door panel back on, and we're gonna have a pretty much complete BMW here. So. And just like that, we're back to a complete BMW. Let me try the window one more time now that the door panel is presentable. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, this is so exciting. Now all I have to do is clean those tape marks up from the years that they were on there, and this thing's one step closer to being a presentable automobile. Well, time has marched on, and I've changed shirts, and I've managed to get myself into even skinnier jeans, if you can believe that. But we aren't done regulating with this car just yet. No, there's actually one more regulatory item that needs to be replaced in this car, and it has nothing to do with the windows. For that, let's take a look inside. Behold, the next issue with the BMW. This is the climate control area, and while I'm not sure if the air conditioner works, the heater works fantastically. Just one problem. The up arrow is missing on one side of the climate control, and the down arrow is missing on the other side, which means I'm unable to regulate the temperature within the cabin. No worries though, the folks at Mineral Auto had a brand new faceplate for a pretty cheap price that I'm hoping will just be an easy swap in and out, and we'll be regulating this cabin temperature in no time. Okay, got my Rock Auto box here. I'm gonna try a second attempt to do a cool YouTube opening. 2-in-1 video, how about that? 1, 2, nope, that wasn't it. Hang on. Ah, there we go. I really gotta practice this. I'm not as smooth at it as some of the other guys, but I did get another magnet, which means another piece of clear coat covered. This car's getting better by the minute. Let's go put this faceplate on. All right, now how hard can this be? I saw a guy on YouTube do it, and now I'm a guy on YouTube doing it. Apparently you just take out these two things, which I didn't know these cup holders were so easy to remove, or I would have ordered a new set of these as well, but you live and you learn. Good news is it's already broken, so I mean, there we go. They're out. And then the other guy just kind of reached back here and like, oh, lost a button or part of a button. Traction control button. If you want to come on out, you can come on out. You get one side out, and then the other side gets kind of, oh, there we go. Success. Now the unit itself works fine. I think it's sensing temperature and the display works. So all I have to do is get this faceplate off, which looks like you just kind of lift it off like a 90s radio, except that unplugged the display and everything too, so maybe I have to lift more things off. Although I'm losing plastic left and right. This thing's popping apart. Oh, delicately. I hope I don't need any of those things that are dropping out right now. That's the interior temp sensor right there. I'm just making sure it's kind of sense the temperature better. So far, everything's lining up just dandy. The question is, did I in fact need those things? And I think the answer is yes. Okay. Well, this is gonna take a minute. I'm gonna have to go to a workbench and pop those buttons back in place, but then we're gonna be in business. Okay, so to update what I was struggling with is in the old faceplate here, there were a bunch of these little butterfly thingies, and a bunch of them fell in between the seats. At first, I didn't really care. I didn't really see their importance because I had new buttons. But the new buttons require them too, and they are really delicate. I mean, look at this. They pop out of there like popcorn. So now I just have to put all these back in the new faceplate and the new faceplate onto its carrier card thing, and then it'll be back in the car. But just wanted to show you what I was working with here. Okay, after, and I'm not kidding here, an hour and a half trying to get these buttons back on, I finally have it. So let's plug it back in and see if we can properly regulate the temperature in this cabin. I think all I have to do is plug it on in. Okay, the display lit up red. That's always a good thing. Shove her back in. That was a satisfying click. And my traction control button can go back in. Let's see. Oh, well, it's already at a more reasonable temperature, which is fantastic. But let's see. Oh, I can change it. That's so awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. Mission accomplished. That's amazing. All right. Well, I'll just put the cup holders back in and we're almost done here. Wow, This thing's snapping together better than a German Lego. The only thing left to do now is take this thing on a road test and see if this window makes a big hissing noise anymore, or if the heat even works now that I've messed with the heating controls. So let's get it out on the road and see if my 2 little repairs were successful. Okay, out on the road in the BMW once again, and I'm immediately reminded that this is the first time I've driven it since I've fixed the seats. So I've never really driven it in the proper seating position, and it feels great. Just as slick shifting as ever, I can just actually reach the pedals now. So far, way quieter on this side of the car, which means mission accomplished on that front. And I can feel heat, and I've got it set at auto in 72. I think this was mission successful. This car's driving really well, other than the obvious suspension issues and other dash lights that are going on. One thing I'm also noticing while looking at the dash is we are a little low on fuel, and fuel is what regulates the distance you can drive in your car before you're stopped on the side of the road. So while we're out, might as well get some gas in this thing. You see, with just a pull of this trigger, I can regulate how quickly the gas goes into the vehicle. Sorry, I had to sneak that one in there. I mean, look at this. I'm actively regulating. You know, a lot of people ask me, Elliot, how long does it take to shoot these videos of yours? And to that I say, in today's case, 3 changes of clothes worth, which, if you do the math, is about 3 days, assuming you change your clothes every day, which you probably should do. Anyway, we had a lot of fun today. We changed the window regulator, so now I don't have tape on the outside of the window, and it rolls itself up and down and doesn't hiss while you're driving. I changed the faceplate of the climate control inside the cabin, which helps regulate the temperature inside the car. And we got some gas, which regulates how far you can go before you're pulled over on the side of the road. I really had to squeeze that last one in there, literally, because remember I was squeezing it, regulating it into the car? We have fun here. Anyway, now that the Hellcat's sold and most of the little stuff is getting fixed on this car, it means it's almost time to start modifying it, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Other than that, follow me on Instagram, like me on Facebook, join my Facebook group. It's a great way to interact with me. I'm in there commenting a lot. I have links to all of those in the description below. And other than that, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe on this video, and I will see you guys on the next video.